former Speaker of the River State House of Assembly. I remain Awaji Nombeg Dagomie Abiante, and I represent Andoni, Opobo, Nkoro Federal Constituency. I remain an Ijaman. I'm from River State. And by the grace of God and the benevolence of my colleagues, I serve as the Caucus leader in the House of Representatives for River State. Mr. Speaker, we have come in this morning, having been around for a few days in River State. A few questions were asked, and we felt that we need to tell a few persons who are either confused or mischievous what the true position is. We have been coming into the state, serving our people and walking around. We've not been confronted with the kind of questions that we were confronted with a few days back, because some people saw some of our colleagues in town and that they made some statements. Some of the things they had said are absolutely not correct. So there is a very urgent need to let the world know exactly what it is, because on earth you have everything in twos. You have honest men just like you would have dishonest men. Susie Kazin posited long before this time, urging all of us to stand for what is right, even if it means standing alone. And in this case, Right Honorable Speaker, we have come to let you know that you are not standing alone, especially standing on what is right. You're not standing alone. You have millions of Rivers people standing with you on what is right. Don't be discouraged. And having gotten to this place and this point, we would like to make a few remarks. And the remarks we have been able to put down on paper. So, by the leave of my colleagues, rather than speak extempo, I want to read what we have considered as our remarks for this event. Our attention was recently drawn to a visit, as well as a press conference, by some of our colleague members from River State in the National Assembly, who are standing in sympathy, like they claim, with the former Speaker of the River State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Martins Amehule, and his group of committee of friends, former lawmakers. At the press conference, the group claimed to put a stop to the falsehood and misrepresentation of facts on the judgments of courts as it affects the River State House of Assembly and the governor of River State. That was their claim. However, contrary to the false claim by the group, the truth of the matter is that the objective of the press conference was to mislead the public on the true situation in River State. That was just the objective of what they came to do. It thus becomes necessary on our part to set the record straight and put the public in proper perspective, because lies that are unrebutted soon overtakes the truth. Besides, Mark Twain once said, a lie can travel halfway around the world, while the truth is still putting on its shoes. Number FHC/ABJ/CS/1613/2023 is as follows. The judgment of the Honorable Justice Omotosho does not touch on the status. It didn't touch on the status of Right Honorable Martins Amehule and his group of 27 former lawmakers of River State House of Assembly. The suit had no business with their status, their position, so they don't have any right to lay claim to what they didn't canvass and it was not given in any way, form, or manner. Right Honorable Martin Amehule and 26 others had lost their seats in the River State House of Assembly following their voluntary defection. You can as well classify that as cross-carpeting, which happened on the floor of the House of Assembly in the full glare of the public on the 11th day of December 2023. To portray our facts, in a plethora of cases, including Dapian Long versus Darie, 2007, the 8th Nigerian Weekly Law Report, part 1036, page 332, and AG of the Federation, that is Attorney General of the Federation versus Abubakar, 2007 as well, 10th Nigerian Weekly Law Report, part 1041, sub 1, at page 178. The Supreme Court of Nigeria had declared that the proper and only interpretation to be given to the provisions of Section 109, sub 1G, and Section 68, sub 1G of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as altered, is that an elected lawmaker in Nigeria who, after an election on the platform of a political party, defects or cross-carpets to another political party, automatically loses his seat in the affected legislative house from the date of his or her defection. That is the position of the law. The pronouncement of the Supreme Court of Nigeria in these cases, having not been set aside nor overruled in any subsequent judgment of the Supreme Court, remains the law till date on issues of defection of a member of a legislative house in Nigeria. Also, in the case of Abegunde versus Ondo State House of Assembly, 2014, the Nigerian Court of Appeal, reiterating the law as affirmed by the Supreme Court, made it clear that loss of seat upon defection is both automatic and mandatory. The legal effect of these provisions and the Supreme Court judgments is that, as at 11th of December 2023, when Right Honorable Martin Amehule read out the letters of defection for himself and 26 others on the floor of the River State House of Assembly, they lost their seats and automatically, mandatorily became former members of the House of Assembly. The only legal implication of the above is that Honorable Martin Amehule and his group of 27 remain former members of the River State House of Assembly and accordingly are no longer entitled to parade themselves as members of the House or to partake in any business or affair of the House. It is worthy to note that neither the fact of their defection, nor any issue relating to their defection, nor on their status as former lawmakers of River State House Assembly was raised, submitted, or discussed in the proceedings leading to the 22nd January 2024 judgment of Honorable Motosho. Instead of placing before the Federal High Court the truth and material facts about their status as ex-lawmakers, to afford the Honorable Court an opportunity of deciding on the real issues, the claimants in that case, talking about Honorable Amehule and co., craftily invented lies and falsehood to mislead the Honorable Court. Unfortunately, it is common knowledge that truth exists and it does not go away just because someone has invented lies. In Elvis Presley words, truth is like the sun. You can shut it out for just a time, but it ain't going nowhere. No matter how fast a lie runs, the truth will someday overtake it. Another material fact is whether the Okojombo-led lawmakers can carry on with businesses of the House of Assembly after the orders automatically and mandatorily lost their seats by virtue of their voluntary defection. This issue was not raised nor discussed in the Honorable Justice Omotosho judgment, which is thus inapplicable in the circumstance. These issues were never raised, so how do you apply them in this instance when it has never been part of what you had canvassed? However, the rule that applies in this circumstance has long been laid down by His Lordship, the Honorable Justice Walter Onogem, Justice of the Supreme Court, as he then was, while delivering the lead judgment in the Supreme Court case of Dapia Long versus Darie, when he declared that, I quote, "There is no doubt that there existed in the Plateau State House of Assembly 14 vacant seats as a result of cross-carpeting. It is my view that until the vacancies created by the carpet crossing members are filled by the process of by-election, the Plateau State House of Assembly can only transact legislative duties that require the participation of less than two-thirds majority of all the members of that house, which duties definitely excludes impeachment proceedings. This position is yet to be overruled by any court in Nigeria, and thus it remains the law." I ask us a question at this point. Assuming but not conceding that in a home there is an accident, you have about 20 members in the family, and 17 are consumed by that tragedy. They all died. How many members do you have in that home? 3. Does it mean that you will lock up that house? You wouldn't cook. You wouldn't do anything because there was a tragedy that took 17 people out? Of course, no. Sometime in the past, the Zambian national team had an air mishap that claimed almost all members of the team. That did not stop Zambia from further playing football. They had to raise fresh members of the team. So in this circumstance, if 27 members had walked out on their own, should that make us close down the functioning of the River State House of Assembly? The answer is no. As members of the National Assembly, we are 360. There have been vacancies occasioned by dates and co. It has not stopped the House. Even if there's a tragedy that, God forbid, that takes 300 out of the 360, those who remain are the members of the National Assembly at every material time. The press statement by the said Rivers Abuja lawmakers, in sympathy with Honorable Martins and Mehola and his group of former lawmakers during their visit, claims that there are several reliefs aside from the presentation of the 2024 budget sought by Right Honorable Martins and Mehola led assembly before Honorable Justice Omotosho in the suit number FHC ABJ /CS /1613/2023 River State House Assembly versus National Assembly of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Contrary to the above false claim, the truth that they choose to continue to hide from the public is that none of the said several reliefs in that case touches on the two material issues in the matter. And what are the two material issues in the matter? The legal effect of the defection of an elected legislator in Nigeria. That suit didn't touch anything close to it. And whether the remaining minority lawmakers can carry on with businesses of the House. The judgment of Honorable Justice Omotosho does not affect issues not submitted for determination in the case. In understanding what the court decided in the judgment, it is the contents of the judgment that will be looked at and not what the parties assumed the court to be saying. This position has been affirmed by the Nigerian Appellate Court. See, for example, Ayito versus Commissioner of Lands and Housing, Cross River State and others, 2021.
to thank you for standing in solidarity with the Rivers State House of Assembly and Rivers people. Just like you said, we will continue to stand for what is right. Our duties is to make laws for our people. And that is what we will focus on. The government of River States is too focused on developing our people. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of River State, is too focused on delivering his mandate to Rivers people. We, as elected lawmakers, are also too focused to delivering that vision that we owe our people. And today, by your visits, hope has been rekindled. I want to thank you for standing with Rivers people. Thank you for standing with the Rivers State House of Assembly. We will continue to stand on the truth. We will continue to stand on the rule of law. The 27 former lawmakers are gone. That is the position of the law. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended cannot be changed because the 27 members loyal to their godfather in Abuja decided to defect, which of course was done on their own volition. So this is us telling Rivers people, continue to remain calm. Continue to go about your lawful duties. In the Rivers State House of Assembly, we will continue to stand by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State. Ama Opus Senebo, Sir, Siminala Fubara, Grand Service of Rivers State. We have too much at stake to abandon ship. We owe our people a duty, and we must fulfill that duty. So, on behalf of the Rivers State House of Assembly, let me once again thank you. And I know that this will not be the only time you'll be visiting the Rivers State House of Assembly. Something tells me very soon you'll visit us again. Thank you very much for coming. I wish you well as you journey back to Abuja, the place of your primary duties. May God Almighty continue to bless you for standing by the truth and the light. Thank you once again. The Deputy Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, the leader of government business in the Rivers State House of Assembly, the former Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Thank you all for joining Rivers people to stand by the truth. May God Almighty continue to bless us all. Thank you, and God bless you.
Hello, no, just put your phone on silent to record.